Man, you come straight out of a comic.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Straight Out of a Comic Book. I am your host, of course, the anomaly, Will Pharaoh. Thank you for joining me on this Saturday. Shout out to everybody who is checking out the live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, whichever one you own. I appreciate you watching. And I just realized with me seeing myself, now I see why my homeboys say I need this little French mustache that go up. Because this one right here, this little curve. See this little curve right here? Like if I could get it to sit. If I could get it to sit, I look like one, you know, the little French villains that be having they brow up. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. Let's twist. Let us twist. And then we try to put it up. I almost got it. You shall not stop my evil plan. I think I might do that. I might get some product and just make this thing stick out like a little French villain. Just to see what they say. Just to see what the people might say when I'm out in these streets. Like, am I okay to ask for some change, or am I about to go destroy Gotham? You never know, but I'm definitely gonna keep this to see what happens. But we have a lot to talk about on today's episode. A lot of things to cover, from television, movies, and as well as video games. I'm gonna be brief about the video games just because this week is IGN Live. It's an IGN festival going here out in Los Angeles, and then as well as Summer Game Fest. And so I don't want to talk too much about it on this episode because we're going to be covering a lot of what was going on in next Saturday. Because, you know, I have a few places that I'm going to be participating in at Summer Game Fest. So if you are in LA and you're going to Summer Game Fest, you might see me there. You know, I forget the word that they say, but a precaution. If you have not seen me in person, yes, I am tall as fuck. I am 6'3". So yes, just let's look past it when you see me. When you be like, hey, are you sure that's him? Yes, y'all only see this part. I'm 6'3". I'm the fucking size of a Mack truck. I look like a retired NFL player. You know, like that he stayed in shape, but we also know that he didn't say no when the chicken wings came around. That's my build. So, but if you see me at Summer Game Fest, feel free to come and say hello. But I did want to at least just recap some of the exclusive things that dropped at IGN Live, at least gamer-wise and stuff. Again, just going to be keeping it real brief. So we were told that there was a trailer for the Batman Arkham Shadows game. The graphics look very great. The ass thing about it is that it's only going to be on MetaQuest. What kind of shit is that? Like, I saw the trailer and I was just like, oh shit, we getting another Batman game. Even look past that the Rat King is the main villain. I was like, all right, I don't fuck with rats. So that's just one big thing. And I don't mean it as a metaphor for snitches either. I mean, I don't fuck with them either, but I don't fuck with rats in general. Like, I don't like them. I don't like being around them. If there's a rat in the room and I'm also in the room, that room is now belonging to the rat. I don't want nothing to do with them. But it's only on MetaQuest. It's going to be a VR experience for you to play this. And I'm just like, not mad that that's happening, but more upset as to why is it not coming out on the other consoles? Or are y'all at least coming out with it later? Like, why just VR? And if I'm just being honest, this is my opinion, and that's why it just states the fact of my in front of it. If you play as Batman in VR, you're a fucking psychopath. The fact that you want to be submerged in Gotham City while it's in chaos, not even just regular Gotham, that be having problems. You want to go when there's anarchy and rats everywhere. And you want to be like this, like you are the Dark Knight. Like, yes, I'm coming to kick everybody's ass. You're fucking insane. If that is your style, by all means, go ahead. And again, I'll take zombies over that. I would rather take zombies than anything over that. Some other news that happened: the Tale of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series dropped a trailer also at IGN, as well as another trailer for Star Wars Outlaws, the open world Star Wars game. And we're gonna get to some Star Wars news, of course, in this episode today, as well as another exclusive first look at the Borderlands live action movie. You know, starring Kevin Hart, Jamie Lee Curtis, and that other white lady. I be forgetting her name, but she's a great actress. Kate Winslet. That's probably not it, but y'all know who I'm talking about. She be in a lot of stuff that you be like, ooh, she gonna probably win an award, and she do. She up there. She ain't Meryl. Not saying that she ain't Meryl, but she up there. What else did they have come out? A new Lego Horizons adventure is coming out. So the game Horizon is now getting switched to Lego form, and they're coming out with their own video game. I don't know why. If someone can explain to me this, what is it about Legos that just is still happening? Like, why does everything have to be turned into Legos and then put out for you to play? Like, Lego movie, cool. The Lego Batman movie, cool. Why is there a whole Avengers show where there are Legos? Why are we getting a full video game of a fantastic story in Horizon, and now you play as Legos? Like, is Legos really that? Am I just out the loop? And is Legos just that thing? Because I'm so confused as to why we got so much Lego stuff. And do people, common people, this is the question, let me put that in the front. Do common people still buy Legos? I ain't seen a kid play with Legos in a minute. Although I have not been around a kid in a minute as well, because I'm a single adult that hangs around other single adults. But I ain't seen no Legos like that. All right? I ain't seen a lot of Legos around here, except on IG, and I don't know if that's a front or not. But just, what is it? What is it? I feel like I'm missing something with the Legos. And maybe just because I didn't jump into the Lego community. It may be just that. I think I just answered my own question. I think I just really answered my own question live on here. Maybe just I didn't have the full Lego train. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is, man. I'm telling y'all here on the live. Yeah, that's what it is. You know what it was? I only had minimal Legos. And I remember, you remember when Legos came in like a box this big? I only got those. That's the furthest I got with Legos. That was it. That was the furthest I got. I never got into the whole big build. You know what I'm saying? I never got into like the big pack. You know, the one that almost looked like a game board box. I never got into them, and I now know why and remember why here in the back of my brain. They went and got it from archives. I never fucked with Legos because you couldn't do shit with Legos but build them. And I was not a display person. I was not someone that was going to build a Lego Death Star, have it opened up with all these people in the scene, and I couldn't do shit with it. All right? I am what you call a interactive toy player when I was a kid. All right? Like, I think a Toy Story, but the person was there seeing it, man. My action figures went on adventures, okay? When I had my Spider-Man, my Stone Cold Steve Austin, my Lion-O from Thundercats, some off-name action figures from the dollar store, those were also dope too, because they had, hey, I ain't gonna lie, they had some fire-ass figures at the dollar store. You had your shitty ones that you do something wrong like in 3 days and it break. But they had some off-brand ones that was real dope. I remember these these Power Rangers that weren't Power Rangers, but they were close to looking like the Zeo Power Rangers. Those were some dope ass action figures, and they had all the bending limbs and stuff like that. Man, let me tell you, toy wise, out there, out there. I can't tell you how many good men that we lost in the toy wars that I started. I'm just letting you know that now. We done lost a few good action figures in my time. Losing them down the drains, the big drains outside and stuff like that. Limbs broken. They lived life. These cats lived life, man. Fighting in the sand pits. Ugh, I can't even get to the under the porch wars. Whoo, man. Ugh. And let's not forget the Fantastic Beast wars. I get into that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Man, but yeah, like Sage D is saying over on YouTube, I had my action figures in a battle royal. That's how it was. That's why I couldn't get down with Legos. You know why? Because you couldn't take Legos outside. You couldn't go play with Legos in the backyard. You couldn't take Legos to the group battle royal. When you was playing real Fortnite, not on the PlayStation, when you was playing real Fortnite with your friends, you had your group, they had their group, you went in the battle, some of them were dying, and then that was Fortnite before Fortnite. And I'm catching that now. I see what Fortnite did. But you couldn't bring Legos to that because they're gonna break. So you couldn't be out there in the streets with a Lego race car because we know what's happening. And we gonna make sure that bitch breaks because we want to see the carnage. That's why I didn't get into Legos. Now I remember. That's why I didn't get into Legos. So that's why I guess I don't understand the hype. So I answered my own question. That's why I don't really get the hype. But I'm sure the Lego fanatics, they love it. And then just a couple of other ones. The Squirrel with a Gun trailer was also released, which is hilarious. It's one of those games that you ask yourself, why did you make this game? And then it also is that game of, why did you make this game? And why do I want to check it out? Why am I so intrigued of a squirrel with a gun? Why am I like, and I'm serious, like if I wouldn't buy it, but if there's a demo, I would play that demo. I just got to see what it is. Not to see if it's shitty. It's just, it's intriguing. It is definitely intriguing. A squirrel with a gun. And I think that really kind of wraps up the video game news. As I said, for those that's just coming in, like King Mike Hall, Living My Jet Life, Monk Aaron over there on Twitch, as well as everybody else that's watching. Appreciate y'all tuning in on this Saturday. It does sound like Ratchet and Clank Living My Jet Life. No. A little bit. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. I would suggest to go check it out, and you'll see exactly what I mean too. You'll be like, I see why I want to at least test it. Demos are just like test driving a car. Yeah. And I still wouldn't buy it though. Like I know for a fact, I know games, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna buy this game. But if it became cool on the PlayStation network. The Plus, the little yellow one that they be having on the PlayStation, if it comes to where you can download it because you got that subscription, I'd download it and play it. I just wouldn't buy it outright. I already know myself. I'm not gonna buy it outright. Let me fix my French villain mustache. We were trying to get a French villain mustache going, but I need the little goo thing or the little grease thing they be putting on mustaches to curl it. I'm gonna try that and get me a French villain mustache going. Just be out here. I shall take and conquer over your city. Anyway, now that I'm gonna move from that horrible accent, let's jump into what should we jump into? I think let's jump into movies, shall we? Let's jump into them good old movies. So just found out this week that Lion King is hitting its 30th anniversary. And it is going to be back in theaters to celebrate the 30th anniversary of The Lion King, which also lets us know something very important, that movie theaters are failing their asses off right now. Because why the fuck are you playing The Lion King in theaters? How much money are you not making for you to go, hey, we're going to take a movie that's available on streaming platforms. You can go to Disney Plus and watch this shit anytime you want. But we're going to put it in theaters because for some reason we are under the impression that everybody wants to walk in and watch Mufasa die on a 100-inch screen, or probably even bigger, probably like 300-inch screen. And everybody wants to sing along with crying babies to I Can't Wait to Be King. Is movie theaters, is it that bad for them right now? Like, is it really that bad for the movie theaters that we showing Lion King? Even when they were showing, like, the Spider-Man. And see, living my jet life, this, as he said in the comments, I ain't gonna lie, I might go see it again. You the reason why they just like, yeah, let's do it. No thought about it, let's do it. Oh, 30th anniversary, yes. Go ahead, let's play that. If you was new and you saw The Lion King, that's fine. That's understandable because it was new. And, you know, I get it because it's like, oh, okay, cool. Parent and kid could go experience this together. I still just want to know, like, how bad is the movie theaters failing that this got to be a thing? Because I remember when these were, like, early in the mornings, just because it was cool to do. I looked at this, and they got this thing playing in the hot afternoon, like 4:30. Like, getting ready for prime time movie showing at the theater. So I'm just like, how bad are movie theaters out right now that you got to do this? I'm just wondering. Like, I'm literally on Disney Plus right now, and I'm looking at The Lion King. Like, I ain't clicked this thing, and this thing gonna start. So I don't get the thing of if it wasn't out like that, then that's a different thing. I'll say that. If it was like movies that you can't really find on streaming platforms and stuff like that, due to, like, for whatever reason, licensing or whatever, and they get released in theaters, that's different. It's like, ooh, okay, cool, I'm gonna go see this. Like, if you telling me you're gonna have like an 80s week or something, or like a 90s action week, and we're gonna do like Duckman or Darkman, and because those ain't really on a lot of streaming platforms, I could see that. Those would not be my first selections, by the way. Just saying, not those. But I could see that. But for something that's so highly available to everybody, that's kind of where you lose me. But hey, you know, to each his own, man. So if for some reason you want to go sing in the movie theaters, I Can't Wait to Be King, and then get shushed by some white woman that just is trying to bring her kids there so she could get some sleep while they watch, by all means, go do it. For myself, I'm going to pop me a 75-cent bag of popcorn, and I'm going to watch this on my 75-inch screen and enjoy it way better than spending damn near $70 to go watch something that I can watch on Disney Plus. That's just me, though. That's just me. Let me not take away your experience, because that might be what you want to do when it drops. But yes, shout out to them, though, for having the 30th anniversary. One of the best Disney films by far in all of history, man. It was very impactful to see a young black brother lose his dad and got to grow up without a father, and has two gay uncles that raise him to finally go back to his hood and beat up his other uncle. Great way that they did that and made them into animals. It's a very, very great coming of age story. So I'm not mad at it. But yeah, shout out to them. So moving forward, something I am really excited about is we got an update. We got ourselves an update, y'all, on Peaky Blinders. Now let me tell y'all something, man. If you ain't watched Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders is some of the most gangster shit I done seen since The Sopranos. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Never mind, I'm not gonna say that. I was about to say The Sopranos were all right, but I can't say that. The Sopranos are really good. Sometimes I just be trying to just stir the pot and be a chaos agent, but Sopranos is a great show. But this one is no different. Man, I love Peaky Blinders. They wrapped up the series with a very much cliffhanger, and what it was said to happen is we would get the ending of the story in a movie form. And then, we kind of heard some things, heard rumors, and then it kind of fell off. Didn't know if it was happening, but we've got the official word that the Peaky Blinders movie is coming to Netflix, and that boy Cillian Murphy will be returning as Thomas Shelby, along with a majority of the other cast, except for the ones who did pass away, unfortunately, in real life, and of course the characters that did not make it in the show. Living my jet life, never seeing a single episode of The Sopranos is crazy. But I'll be honest, I was right there, I think 3 weeks ago, and I've only watched maybe 4 episodes. And I just say it's for gangsters, it's a good show. That's why I didn't want to prejudge it as it being all right, because I'm working on it. And to seeing if it's like that, that's why I didn't want to prejudge it just yet. And I keep watching. I'm like, oh, this shit really got good. But for the first, I think I'm on episode 10. It's a good show so far. I see why it gets the praise that it gets. But that's why I didn't want to jump the gun too soon. But living my jet life, I was the same way, man. I did not watch The Sopranos like that. So still haven't seen The Wire either. So there's that for you. But yeah, haven't been given an official date as to when this is going to drop or when they begin filming, but we do know that the Peaky Blinders will get an ending to this phenomenal story, and I cannot wait. I will not give no spoilers to how it ended, because I still want y'all to go watch it, man. It is one of those stories that as soon as you start it, you're going to want to keep watching to see what happens. So by all means, y'all, go check that out. Now, in some other news that we have that I also found interesting, and it has to do with the Captain America movie. So, very interesting that Captain America has been getting some news as to who's going to be in it. We've seen that General Ross is returning. We're seeing that, of course, Captain America will be returning with the original suit that he had in the series. WWE megastar Seth Rollins is in it as a part of the Serpent Group, as well as Giancarlo Esposito playing a mystery role that we still don't know, but we know it is a villain. An image was released to say who, like they said, to kind of give hint as to who he was. Not really sure, just had on a white shirt and it seemed like a white vest or something like that. Not really sure what was going on to give away what it is, but could be potentially Mr. Sinister, Doctor Doom, or even Trask. I was even gonna say he could play Trask from the X-Men, and he's the one that's responsible for building the Sentinels. I'm throwing that in there now, but I'm still like my top one is still Mr. Sinister. It's still gonna be Mr. Sinister. But someone who's not in attendance and has a scratch in our head is none other than Baron Zemo. We heard this week from the actor, asking him in a recent interview about a movie he has coming up. They asked if, how has it been going in returning to, getting ready to play this character, and apparently he has not been filming anything. And apparently he's not even getting the Thunderbolts movie, which is a head scratcher because his image is. So I don't know if it's a lie being told or if he just hasn't been called in to do his stuff or what. But from what he had stated was, I am positive that the character will return on these eventually one time, just not sure when. So they could be kind of odd to not have a Baron Zemo cameo within Captain America, or for him to not be in the Thunderbolts whatsoever. So that one kind of has me scratching my head a little bit as to what's going on over there with Marvel. But again, too, we've known like actors to say stuff and then come to find out when the movie comes out, it's all BS and stuff like that. So, like, thanks to Andrew Garfield. Like, shout out to Andrew Garfield for just having us not believe shit people say anymore when it comes to Marvel. This is all your fault, because I don't believe nobody when they tell me, like, hey, man, I'm not in this movie. Like, even the chick that played X-23, her name is Daphne. She's now in the Star Wars Acolytes. She even said, I did not film in Deadpool whatsoever. So I would have loved to have been in it, but I am not in the movie. Still don't believe her. Still do not believe her because of Andrew Garfield. I don't believe no actor that is working with Marvel when they say, like, hey, man, I don't know. No, you know, and you lying to us. This is all Andrew Garfield's fault. But I'm hoping it's a lie, and Baron Zemo does come in both Thunderbolts and Captain America, because to have him not in both is wild, especially the influence he's had in the former movies and within the comics themselves. So that's crazy if he's not in it. But moving forward, we shall see. I want to talk about another movie that I just synced. Let's go ahead and move over here. We just got the trailer for that old Alien Romulus. Let me tell you, I was watching this and I'm in. Y'all. We going back to square one. As they said, we're going back to root one. They're going back to their roots for this Alien film. It's definitely giving the old school vibes too of Ridley in here. Just the vibes of Ridley's time in at the first Aliens with Sigourney Weaver's character. It's giving that feeling. It's not centered around her, of course, of everything, but it's getting back to its roots. One thing I am very hooked in on now because of what I saw was the fact that they have the producer from Don't Breathe and Evil Dead. And I think those people have done a phenomenal job at being able to take in the ambiance and the areas that they're around and the sounds and really submerging you into the film. And I think this is one of the perfect ones for them to have the next step on. When I watch Don't Breathe, if you haven't seen Don't Breathe is the movie where those kids decided they were going to rob this blind man's house because they figured like he had jewels and all kind of stuff up in there. And come to find out, this dude is like a trained ex-military something and everything that ain't nothing to fuck with and is fucking these kids up blind. And then some wild shit happened at the end. I ain't gonna give it away, but some freaky wild shit was happening. They were grown and shit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, look, I'm 36 years old. So when I say like kids, I mean like young adults. Like, yeah. When you say kids, I get what you say. I call them children. Like anyone from like 8 to like 14, that's children to me. Like kids is like 18 to 21. And then like when you 21 and past, then you an adult because you can legally do shit. Yeah, see, Shanae get it. She know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I ain't feel sorry for them kids anyway, because they were kids in the sense, like they were like young adults, but they were kids. Bull look for. Hey, remember though, we got a lot of Gen Z people that be 18 looking 34. So, when it come to age, man, you just gotta you definitely now make sure you gotta ask, like, hey, how old are you? How old are you? And always just ask that anyway. If you go engage in something, like you just got to know. But watching this and seeing Don't Breathe really put you in that house. Like you felt like you were in that house. Like you got quiet watching Don't Breathe. Like watching it. Like I didn't say nothing because I didn't even want them to get caught. I'm trying to be quiet so they don't get caught. That was how much they submerged us into that movie. So now just take the people that make that, even with Evil Dead. Oh my God, the shots in Evil Dead. Like, the remake that they did, yo, I think is very underrated and doesn't get the credit that it deserves, because that reboot to Evil Dead, oh my God, it was so good. It was so good. Yo, when she was in that basement and she was just looking at him like, oh, yo, that freaked me out. Like, I had to cut the lights on when that happened. So to have that, and to now have a setting like Alien where you are on a spaceship, of course, in space. No one's around. That silence, and just hearing the workings of the machine and just all the tolls that they're gonna bring. It was just, man. It's going to be something that's going to really I think they're going to do a great job of submerging us into the spaceship, immersing us into the characters, trying to be able to figure out what's going on. And so it looks great. It looks like, again, like they did say that they were getting back to their roots with Alien, and that's exactly what it looks like they're doing. And of course, now this type of movie has the better CGI and graphics to be able to really deliver what Alien can be. Like, you know, seeing the chick heart, like it's lighting up in her body to bust out. Oh, yo. I had never gave that thought till I saw this, of just like, yo, imagine like your whole chest right here lighting up and you see the thing there because it's getting ready to pop out, rather than it just growing. That's why, like, yo, I look forward to seeing this film, something I would go to theaters to see and everything. But yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. And shout out to them. Shout out to Ridley Scott for bringing it back. Can't wait to see it. Wouldn't mind another Prometheus movie too. But that's just me in my opinion. Now that we're having to move on. To a movie I'm not so sure about. The Venom The Last Dance trailer was released this week. And I just want to know, when did Venom become a joke? Like, when did Venom start doing stand-up comedy in the comic books? I'm so confused at this. Like, I watched this trailer, very excited, because I was like, okay, I'm curious as to how this story is gonna go, especially the way that it was left off. It was left off to where Venom sees Spider-Man in the MCU Spider-Man on TV, and I'm like, yo, what's next for this? And in watching this trailer, all it gave me was the further inclination that Sony don't know what the fuck they doing with this franchise. Or just the whole Spider-Man franchise in general. Like, how is Moto in this movie? Now I'll give them credit, because I know a lot of people were bashing them with this, because he's in here, and I believe Doc Connors, who plays Lizard in the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, is also in this movie. Now, mind you, it is multiverse, so in the multiverse, it can be different things. I'll give them that. Like, what the fuck is this with Venom dancing? Back to what I'm saying. I'll give them that, just for the fact of different universe could have led completely different lives. Could have led completely different lives, completely different identities. Doesn't even have to be named that. I'll give you that. But watching this trailer showed me anything is that, yo, Sony needs to just give Spider-Man up. Give it back to Marvel because you don't know what this is. You don't know what to do with this. You're just now making stuff. That's it. It's just like it feels like you're not even looking at the comic book anymore. It looked like you're not even really trying to reference what's going on. Like Venom is supposed to be one of your dope horror movies. Like, yes, I get what they're doing, the funny parts about it, like this horse stuff. Even looking at this horse, this is dope. I'm not even gonna lie. I'll give them this. But my only problem is, it's like this should also have layers of horror in it because Venom is a horrifying character. And all I'm really getting from this is now this is a buddy comedy. And that's not the Venom that we like. That's not the Venom that we love. That's not the Venom that we looking for. And it just clearly shows that it's like, yo, y'all are making this entire franchise a joke. This is ridiculous with what you're doing with the Spider-Man franchise. How y'all are just taking it and butchering it to whatever it is you feel or please. Like, yo, this like, and it's really just showing like you being petty, Sony. You being real petty because you know this should be back in Marvel's hands and you won't let it happen. It's like, no, we're going to hold on to this. We're going to suck as much money we can out of this. And you're making nothing but horrible decisions. Horrible decisions. You didn't give us an Amazing Spider-Man 3. You just threw that away. You gave us a horrible Madam Web that didn't even have nothing to do with Madam Web. You hinted at 3 Spider Women that didn't even use their powers in the movie. That was just a premonition of them in the suits. You got Kraven coming out where Kraven is not even Kraven. He's now like some hybrid animal that senses in with like the power of a lion and stuff like that. And it's just like, yo, what the fuck are y'all doing to this IP? You're not even looking at the MCU to keep stuff congruent. I'm not even finna bring up Mobius. I'm not even finna bring that up. It's like, yo, y'all are being petty with the IP that people enjoy. This is you gotta understand, Spider-Man is probably one of the most beloved franchises within the Marvel comic books. All right. It's X-Men, Spider-Man. I don't know who number 3 is. They probably are gonna try to tell us Fantastic Four. Do not believe that shit whatsoever. But I'm going to just throw Avengers right there just to say we got a top 3. You cannot keep doing this to such an IP that we love. All of your movies have either been mediocre or disappointing. We were okay with the first Venom. We let you slide with Let There Be Carnage because you somewhat did Carnage right. But now you're taking such a beloved story and just doing whatever you want and just going like, yo, the fact that you got Venom doing comedy is just wild. And so and what's fucked up about it is people are gonna go watch this movie. They're going to go and see it, and it's going to make them their money back and probably make them a little bit more to where they won't feel like they need to change it. But something needs to happen. This needs to be y'all final stuff, and whatever it is, like just completely do like the DCU did and wash this whole thing out after you give us an Amazing Spider-Man 3. You can go out with some class if you give us the Amazing Spider-Man 3. And end his stuff right. And then Sony, give it back to Marvel. Please give it back to Marvel. That's all I'm saying. Because this is not it. This ain't it. I'm sorry. This is not it. This ain't the Venom we want. This is okay of the Eddie Brock that we want. But like, yo, this is not it, man. This is not it. I need my Venom horrible. Horrifying. I need to be scared when Venom come on screen. I should not be seeing this dude cracking jokes, dancing with the fucking store clerk. That's just so disappointing. And the fact, just, you know, the biggest thing in the room, Still no Spider-Man. Not a single reference of Spider-Man. Nothing about Jonah Jameson. No kind of tie-in or correlation with any Marvel. With any Marvel. The only time you did it was an Easter egg. And then when we thinking it's going to be something dope, y'all send him back to do what? Like, who are all these symbiotes? Like, that's going to happen. Is someone else going to get them? Which one are we getting? Are we even going to see some kind of inclination to anything in the comic book, man? It's just, this got to stop. Sony, this got to stop. This is not cool. This is not good, man. And y'all going to get to the point where people are going to not even support it. And you've already seen that with Morbius, because Morbius wasn't a bad movie for the first hour. But then something just dramatically changed, and it just shit the bed. So again, I just my only suggestion, as I said, is give this back to Marvel. Give this back to Marvel. Let them handle it. Let them take care of it. Let them restore the Spider-Man franchise. Not saying Spider-Man itself need to be restored, because Tom Holland's doing an amazing job as the current Spider-Man. But for the rest of their stuff, you need to let this get fixed, man. Because Marvel is doing a great job with Spider-Man. They've done a great job with Kingpin, Daredevil. All of these people are tied into there. Like, yo, just give it back. Give the rights back. Make a deal where y'all can at least still make maybe some money off of it and profit from it. Or just me, I'll get a whole shit back. It's time, Sony. It's time, because now you just hurting this stuff. And it ain't right. It's not right. And you're gonna mess around, you're gonna get a boycott going on. And you already know the power of the people is real strong. So I'm just hoping that they get that situated. You know, if y'all are going to see it, y'all let me know. Cause this ain't working. And I'm just talking live action as well. I'm not talking like the animated stuff. Like, they do a good job with the animated stuff. Like, but that, you know, this live action just ain't working. And I think too, even to the Spider-Man animated stuff, you can still be in conjunction with Sony Animation. Like, imagine Marvel Animation and Sony Animation coming together to make the Spider-Verse movies. That's still great. But these live action ones, nah, man, this gotta go. This gotta go. But that's gonna wrap up movie news. So let's get into some television. That Hello Vision. Now, something that I did see, yes, shout out to Callie Scott over on Twitch. That would be incredible for everybody to see. It would be incredible to see those two come together and make something dope. But before we get into our television news, let me track back. I have to shout out today's sponsor. Got to shout out today's sponsor. And the sponsor is coming from the Hat Club. All right? It is coming from the Hat Club. Now, if you love fitted caps, I'm sure you got your favorite team you rocking. I'm sure you got some of your favorite designs that you like and stuff. I got a big ass head, so the cap era never really came around to me. And then I grew dreads, which just made my head a lot bigger. So never got into caps. It was always right here on me, and I ain't like that. I ain't like that it was tight right here. You take it off, and then you got this big ass line, just big ass unattractive line. And I'm already big, and you know that's why I'm losing weight. I'm not comfortable in my bigness, and you already be feeling the type of way when you know your clothes get stuck under that side part. I don't like feeling like I can't fit my cap, and somebody thinking like, damn, bro, you got the wrong hat size. Like, damn, your head fat. Nobody with a big head ever wants to say that they got a fat head. That's the last thing you ever want to hear. Having a big ass head or a big forehead is hearing that you got a fat head. I don't like that. So, but for those that don't, the Hat Club has just dropped some exclusive caps that will be coming out for the new era caps at $59.50. They just dropped today. It's a limited run, and they are going to be and it is catered around the Marvel Cinematic Universe, preferably the Infinity Stones and the Avengers. As you can see right here, these are just one of the 7 collective caps that they are dropping today. I believe that they are dropping at 11 a.m. PST this time, and of course that is 2 p.m. EST over there on the East Coast. They will be available at $59.50. They are going on a limited run right now, but are scheduled to have some coming exclusive to Hat Club in the near future. So go for it now, because you're not sure when that's going to drop. But I just want to take y'all through some of the amazing hats that they have. And shout out to Wilder Fitteds. I didn't say that right. Wilder Fitteds. Shout out to them, and shout out to T800 John for these dope designs that they have made. Right here, you're seeing the what is being called the Avengers Assemble cap. And then moving to the Infinity version. So of course, these are considered the Soul Stone hat. We have here that you can see. We also have the Space Stone hat that's going to be available. Man, these are so fly. We also had the Infinity Gauntlet Brewers hat. The Infinity Gauntlet Brewers hat, man. Of course, you know, like, and then the background, of course, is after Thanos won, and now he just chilling, doing his thing. We also have the Quantum Suit Angels hat that's coming out. This is one of my favorites. I really enjoyed this design. I wish I didn't have such a big head so I could wear one of these. I would wear this one. I don't do well with white, but y'all might do well with white. And if you do, you should definitely add this one to your collection. But of course, we also got the Time Stone fitted hat. Come on now. If you enjoy Doctor Strange, you enjoy the Time Stone, man, he has you covered. All right? And then of course, last but certainly not least, is the Mad Titan. That good old Mad Titan fitted hat. Again, all of these are going to be available today, starting at 11 a.m. 9. I don't know why I said 9. 11 a.m. PST and 2 p.m. EST. They will be available on New Era Hat Club, of course, $59.50. Make sure if you are a hat fan and you're watching this, go collect all of them today. Get yourself the Inevitable package. It is a great package, dope designs. You do not want to miss out. Add these to your collection and stun on these people. Stun on these people, man, especially with Marvel finna drop that Deadpool and Avengers. Come on now. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm just more. I'm still upset I can't wear hats with my big ass head, man. That made me sad. Not really, but they just look cool, and I still want one, and they gonna send me one. I ain't gonna wear it because, again, my head is big, and I don't think I can fit an 8. And I don't know where Lil Wayne gets his caps from, because he be wearing caps all the time, and for some reason his size has been a mystery for the last 10 years, and they won't give it to me. So I got a size 8. Here's hoping. But if I can't do it, y'all get one and then rock it. We're going to rock it for me. Then that way we rocking it together. And I'm rocking it with you in spirit. But moving on. Going into now some TV news. If you have seen the Netflix series Baby Reindeer, then you should already know this is a wild, crazy ass story that is based on true events. That is based on true events. Easy Not on Twitter, you are wrong for that. Just because Lil Wayne is small doesn't mean his hat size is three. He say he's 3 feet 12 inches. Lil Wayne probably is that tall. I ain't gonna front. I met Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne is either he's very short or I'm very tall. And again, I'm just 6'3". So Lil Wayne is quite short. But Baby Reindeer. Baby Reindeer is, again, a story based off of true events about a woman stalking this guy that inevitably is also toxic as fuck himself, and goes into this crazy ass story of pretty much ruining each other's lives. It's wild. It's wild. It's also wild that she can't type. She was very much clear example of someone who just types stuff and don't read before she hits send, which is wild because she's a lawyer. And I'm just like, how you don't check that before you send it? Like, I get you angry, but for some reason, proofreading was an Achilles heel for her in sending out these emails. So in case y'all don't know, just to catch y'all up on it, not gonna give too much away. Lady gets fixated on the guy that works at a bar. They start exchanging emails, and apparently, based on the show, she was sending like 150 emails a day, just telling things about her everyday life, things about what they could do, or seeing how it could go. But also too, this dude was toxic as fuck. This guy was not he was a victim, but a victim of different things. But he still wasn't shit. He still ain't shit. He just is as bad as she is. If I'm just being honest, he is just as bad as she was. But unfortunately, because of even how I'm talking about this lady, the person, the real Martha, is actually suing Netflix for $170 million. For defamation of character. Apparently, they completely stretched out this story, exaggerated this story to a high degree. From what the actual person stated was that the whole thing of her sending 150 emails a day was not true. That happened to be around the total of emails that was sent during the conversation. And during the time everything panned out. But pretty much they were saying she was like, again, she does not like the fact of how she was presented in this movie, that it was very exaggerated as opposed to what happened. And now she is suing Netflix in a defamation suit for $170 million. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. Now, this is why I understand her doing it, because you never know the impact this is going to have on that person's real life. Because even though, too, like, whether it be called a mistake, whether it be called, like a overlap of judgment and character, these people still have to live their lives. And so wherever the real Martha is, she still has an everyday life. She still most likely still has to go to work. There are people who she does communicate with on probably a daily basis. So this lady does have a life. And because this is on Netflix, we know this is almost worldwide. People are going to see this, especially people in her area. And now this depicts her in something that's very different. And we already know perception is reality. So there's no telling how the people within her world, near her community, are responding to the behavior that was shown here on this show. So I understand why she is saying that and why she feels that way. Because again, people, it may be affecting her job. It could be affecting her social presence and stuff like that. Not, Instagram or nothing, but when she's going out and everything, this could really, make her look a certain type of way. And, we already know people are not nice. Like, people can be very kind, but people can also be very mean and very ignorant when it comes to a lot of stuff. So you never know what she may have to be dealing with now because of how she's betrayed, especially if it's not all the way accurate. With that said, though, this show stated at the beginning, this movie is based off true events. That's why Hollywood throws that line in there before they say it. This is just based on, which means not everything is accurate. Not everything is going to be told strictly in the right detail for the sake of this film. Now, she is definitely going to have to prove like how this has affected her life in order for her to win this defamation suit. So it has to show like her quality of life altered after this came out, and she's going to really have to prove that. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard for her to top off that 170 million. I'm sure they'll probably try to maybe like on the back end pay her something for her, you know, for any kind of suffering that she is probably had to endure. But I just gotta say, man, you was out. That's what happened when you're on proofread. Just gonna throw that out. Just, I don't really have a lot of confidence in the person that don't proofread. And you was a lawyer. If you was a lawyer for real and you wrote like that, I don't see this working out for you in winning this case. But I definitely think she's gonna get some bread. I don't think she's gonna get 170 million. That is definitely the white man's goal of just jumping over the moon. I don't think you're gonna get 170 million. I don't even know if that show made 170 million. It was good, but I don't see her getting that. But I do see her getting broken off something for the way it has depicted her, because I'm sure some things has changed around her area. I'm sure some people are looking at her a little bit different with that story coming out. But that is one of the things about Hollywood when it comes to making stuff that's based off of true events. You know, sometimes things have to be fluffed, a little bit exaggerated, and changed and altered to fit the story. And I'll even give a prime example. It's not as bad, but it is something that happened. So if y'all remember the movie American Gangster, where Denzel Washington played Frank Lucas, there's a scene where Frank Lucas is pointing the gun at Idris Elba's character, asking him for his money, and has it like at his head. And then, you know, of course, Idris Elba talking that shit and ain't gonna pay him his money, and Frank ends up shooting him and then taking the money. So again, this is an example of this becoming a little bit more exaggerated than what happened, because in the real story, him shooting him was actually an accident. He didn't mean to shoot him in the head. What happened was, when he had it, he was shooting it. He was aiming the gun and had it aimed at his chest. And then the guy came at him, and then it slipped up, and then the trigger went off and shot him in the head. So it wasn't as opposed to where he had the gun pointed at him like that, to where it made it look as gangster. And then I think he even said too, the dude was like even way taller than him. So when he had it pointed, that was the furthest that stuff could go. But of course, that doesn't look great that doesn't play that well on camera. So of course they're gonna change it around to where it's gonna make it look like okay, especially these two actors are similar in height. We're gonna alter this a little bit. Like I said, not as exaggerated as this person's perhaps, but like I said, things do get altered when you're doing something that's based off of facts, that's based off of something that actually happened. So, you know, hey, I'm rooting for her, especially if it has hurt her in some way. I am rooting for her to get some money. Again, I don't see it being $170 million. But hey, more power to you. If it didn't affected you in some way and you didn't know this was coming out, nobody talked to you, nobody asked you about it, man, go get your money. Go get your money if this done messed you up, because I definitely see you as some type of way. I'm going to be honest, real Martha. I definitely judged you. I'm just going to throw that out there. I definitely judged you. I didn't judge you because of the stalking. I don't promote stalking whatsoever. Like, I do not subscribe to stalking. I don't fuck with you if you are a stalker or you in making someone feel uncomfortable in your presence or around and you're doing that. I don't fuck with that shit. No, because I've seen some situations. I don't fuck with that part. But I don't like that you didn't see that you could do better than this toxic ass nigga who needed a hug. That's what I don't like about you, Martha. This nigga wasn't shit. He wasn't shit. I was wild. Like, when I got off and finally finished this series, I was like, that nigga ain't shit. This is why Future is bad for hip hop, because niggas like this exist. This had to be the most toxic shit I ever seen in my life, and I was like, yo, you need to get your ass whooped. Or therapy. I would say that's just the hood nigga in me, but I would say you need therapy and a hug. Because this chick wasn't as bad as they tried to push that shit out, and you definitely did not help to try to nip that shit in the bud whatsoever. So that's why I was like, I don't fully blame her, but I also judged you. I'm just gonna be honest. This movie made me judge y'all a lot. And if I really knew you, I'd have been looking like, let me see your emails. I just want to see, like, do you still got them? Because I just want to understand, did you really not proofread before you sent these out? Like, I get you was angry, but there was a lot of misspellings in here that I don't think a lawyer should be having in stuff that you sending out, especially emails. So we gonna move on. Because we gonna go ahead and move on to more TV news. We found out too now that Terminator is getting an animated series. That's right, Terminator is getting an animated series. I believe it's coming out this August on Netflix. And Timothy Olyphant, if you know him, that's Agent 47 from the Hitman live action movie, is going to be voicing Terminator. They hadn't given a trailer out, just a couple of still shots of the anime. Looks good. I will say, anime looks good. Very interested to see what they do with it and how it goes and what story they're telling off of. If I'm being honest, I hope it's not starting off with John Connor when he's a kid or anything like that. Like, I hope this is something different, maybe even like something like going on within the future, and we're doing that, and we get to them going to the past. But I really don't want to start off with seeing John Connor getting chased by the Terminator, at all. I don't want to see that. I'm sorry if anybody feels different about it, but I'm actually not sorry because this is my show. But I don't want to see that first off. I want to see them into some new kind of storyline for Terminator. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what comes of the Terminator movie, and I also just excited to see like this new trend that's kind of going on. Well, I wouldn't even call it new because it was done normally back in the 90s. But even to continue with this type of news that I'm talking about, we also found out that Tomb Raider is also getting a cartoon series that's going to be on Netflix, and Haley Atwell, you know, Marvel's Penny Carter, and Captain the captain from the alternate universe and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness will be voicing Lara Croft. And that's just, again, that's just a common sense slam dunk. Can't knock them for that. Great choice to have her voice her. But to my point I was getting to, I'm loving that they are taking classics like these, like video games, movies like the Terminator, even stuff like the Suicide Squad, and they're giving us animated versions of them. And I like that too, because you saw that in the 90s. Like when they'd have like movies coming out, they'd get like a cartoon show. Like Jumanji had a show, Men in Black had a cartoon show, and a few others as well. But I'm liking that, you know, we're living in an era now where cartoon movies are okay for all ages. Like, it's okay for you to watch this. And it's okay for you to want to watch a cartoon now. I remember at one time where it was not, you were looked down upon if you were adult watching like cartoons. And I like the fact that we now live in an era where it is okay to watch cartoons. And not only is it okay to watch cartoons, you're making cartoons for every age, like adults, children, kids, and young adults. So we all get to enjoy within the animated world. And so I'm just glad to be seeing that. So to see stuff like Tomb Raider being announced, to see stuff like Terminator being announced in an animated form, I just think that's really cool because just like living my jet life, I still love cartoons too, and never cared what other people thought. Because I still will watch Toy Story today, like today. Hell, I'll watch Fern Gully right now. I'd have a whole watch party with y'all and we could watch Fern Gully. That's still my shit. But I like that we're moving more into. I like that we're moving into the animated world more, and people are taking chances with these shows, with these films, and giving it an animated twist of something that we are used to and that we enjoy, and seeing another form of it. Especially something like Terminator. I think Terminator is a great franchise to turn into an animated series rather than us continuing to have movies with Arnold. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but eventually that's going to come to an end. So I'm glad to see that they're pivoting and finding other ways to be able to tell the Terminator story. So that's why I say it the way I'm saying it. But shout out to Tomb Raider. Shout out to Terminator also dropping. I believe Tomb Raider is dropping in August. I don't think there's a release date for Terminator just yet. But we know Tomb Raider is coming out in August. So looking forward to that and to seeing what comes from that. Now, other news we found out from Marvel is this was actually supposed to be in movie news, so my apologies, but we found out that the Avengers, the next Avengers movie, is going to feature over 60 characters returning to this Avengers movie. And we just gotta assume that they're talking about Avengers Secret Wars. And I'm like a fat kid at Christmas right now, man, because the possibilities of who's coming back just is blowing my mind. And the fact that it says over 60, not 60, not a precise number, over 60 characters will be returning is so wild. This is probably going to be the most biggest Marvel movie to date, and probably one of the most biggest budget films to date. Like, I am curious to see if Marvel doesn't spend $1 billion on this movie, or close to it at least. Maybe not $1 billion, but close to it. That's so wild to me. And then think of it too, like returning. So, but I know as well, there might be some overlap of previous scenes that count as a cameo. I can see them doing that too. But even so, just the possibility of a lot of these Avengers returning. Like, we had already heard this past week that Robert Downey Jr. was saying that he is itching forward and forward even more now to reprising his role as Iron Man. We know Thor is still intact. Seeing Black Widow return. Cap returning. And then again, that's just the big hitters in the MCU. We haven't even gotten to the Fox universe. We ain't even gotten to the punk ass Sony universe. And it's just it's wild at the possibilities of just so many of these characters coming back and returning. And even the stuff from when they first started with the Marvel series, like even stuff from like the original Hulk, from the series itself, even to the one where I didn't like it, where his eyes started getting bigger and shit. We gonna keep this show on the rails, because I was about to go way off. But even those people coming back into it, Edward Norton returning as the Hulk, like I could see a lot of that. I could see those possibilities, And what I don't want to see happen is what Living My Jet Life just wrote here in the comments. What if it's just 10 different versions of 6 characters? I'd be pissed. I'd be so pissed. I would be. That's more of a waste of time on the movie itself to have to implement that rather than just getting 60 characters. Like telling 6 people 10 different ways in a 2-hour film is wild. That's wild as fuck. And that is definitely a waste of time. That it would be such a waste of time if they did it like that. But not saying that they couldn't. But I'm very curious to see who they bring back. Also, y'all let me know in the comments below when this video drops on YouTube. Who do you see returning? Give me your top 5 second-rate returns, if that makes sense. Don't give me the big ones that we know. Don't give me Iron Man. Don't give me Thor and all of that stuff. Don't give me the original Avengers. Give me everyone else outside of the original MCU Avengers. Outside of those, give me 5 people who you think are gonna come back in the comments below. But again, this is just getting us more excited for the multiverse saga and for Secret Wars to come. It just seems like it's gonna be such a great show. I mean, a great movie and stuff. I'm thinking about them just writing Vision in the comments, and I'm thinking about his show. But it just seems like it's about to give us what we want, and that is a great Secret Wars. So, staying on the superhero news. We're getting into, we know that The Boys season 4 is coming back this month. I believe in like a week or so. And unfortunately, one of the folks from the Gen V series, Chance Perdomo, unfortunately passed away in a motorcycle accident at the age of 27. Condolences to his family. Rest in peace to you, Chance, man. You know, very taken away way too early. Phenomenal actor. If you hadn't seen him in Gen V, he was in other stuff like Sabrina the Teenage Witch reboot on Netflix, and he was also did a phenomenal job in that series as well. But big questions have been asked since his passing. How will his character be dealt with moving forward within the series? And so we did finally get an update more from the showrunner and the producer of Gen V, as them letting us know, the first thing they had let us know a little bit after his death, that they would not be recasting his character. They were not going to recast him. They were not going to try to pick up where they left off with a different actor. They were not going to do that. Chance was very much beloved on set, loved by the people there. When the character was brought up, this was the person that they had in mind originally anyway. So they want to honor him as best as they can on the show. And so the update that we received is that they will kill the character off. The character will be killed off on the show. They have not said how it's going to happen, how it's going to be led into, but they said they did want to honor Chance's memory, and so they are going to have the character on the show also as well meet their demise on the show, so that they can still honor him, keep his legacy in mind without just trying to write him off like he just disappeared or something. They do want to make sure. So we're getting like a Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever type of thing, which I like. I think that that's cool, and I think that just, you know, also just shows the magnitude of how loved that Chance was on that set, and just how well he did portraying this character, because I didn't want to see him recast either. And I'm glad that they're allowing him to have a way for him to be his character to be remembered and to live on. Because of course, like when people die in this show and stuff like that, you know, it becomes a fuel for somebody else, somebody else's character that leads into an even better story. But once again, man, shout out to Chance. May you rest in peace. You know, just really gone too soon, man. Phenomenal actor. But, you know, I hope you rested in peace, and I hope in some ways you see that, like, yo, you left quite an impact with people here with what you did, doing what you love as being an actor. Now, switching over still to The Boys, but not something as sad. But it's still sad. It's not teary-eyed sad, but this is just sad as far as thought process goes. So, there's been a lot of talk about people considering Homelander to be a hero after this season 3 ended. So there's been a lot of people with The Boys season 4 coming out. There's been a lot of people addressing at how they consider Homeland to be a hero after the actions that he's done. And one of the last actions was him lasering somebody right in front of his son that threw a can at him. Don't get me wrong, as a dad, understand where it's coming from. You as a hero need your limits. And he did not show that, but it showed that people were supporting him within the show. And now it seems to also here in our real life world, people are supporting that behavior and considering him to be a hero so much that the showrunner had to come out and say, if we obviously showed what we were trying to portray this person to be as, and that is not a hero. And he was like, for anyone who thinks he is a hero, I just throw my hands up. And I feel the exact same way, because how do you consider this person to be a hero? Just in every aspect of Homelander's psyche, the way he acts, how he responds to people, how he engages people. What makes you think he's a hero? Is it the suit? Is the suit what is keeping out nah, that's a hero right there? Do you really consider that being a hero? Seriously. The dude that crushed a man's skull while he was getting jacked off by a Nazi. That guy's a hero. The guy who was literally body shaming A-Train so he can make himself feel a little better or make people around him feel just as shitty. That guy's a hero. The dude that made the Deep eat his homeboy or his sexual partner that was an octopus in front of everybody. Y'all calling that guy a hero. The dude that let that whole plane crash, which I still don't understand of, why didn't he carry the plane to safety? Isn't he, I could have sworn he was strong enough to where it's you could have just held the plane and flew it, or at least landed it on water. You didn't have to try to go hold it till you get to land. You could have gently landed it in water, had everybody get on the flotations, and saved everyone. And somehow, this dude is a hero? Didn't he sexually assault his son's mother and then kidnapped his son? But this guy is a hero to some people. That's just hearing that, I'm not going to say disappoints me. You know what it really does? It makes me lean more into people who got common sense. This was one of those clear examples of, if this was a conversation happening in a room with a group full of people. Let's say it's you've been at a party or an event, and it's a group full of people that are talking about this. The only thing this made me do was understand there's some groups I should not be in. There's some conversations I should not be around, and I'm going to gravitate more to the people who make more sense to me. I'm not even judging the people who think this guy is a hero and because of what he's standing for. I'm sure you have some type of delusional logic as to why you think that. For myself, for me though, this just made me gravitate to folks that have a little more common sense, if you will. And I think that's what one of these big things is, because people are sick. People are sick. People are sick, but also too, there are people who are not. There are people who have different opinions and stuff like that. And this just is one of those shining examples that make me lean into more folks that you consider to be a part of your circle. And I don't even just mean being a friend or being an associate, just kind of even folks like how we have here on the live in our community. Because I don't think a person like King Mike Hall, Shanae869, or Living My Jet Life would be. Those people who think Homelander is a hero would not be a part of the tribe. And it just pushes you more to go to those that you would consider to be a part of your tribe. And hopefully, just in a small form of being able to go, let me appreciate the ones I have around me now, because I could be around some wild ass people thinking that Homelander is a fucking hero. So, but that still keeps me excited to watch The Boys either way. And I cannot wait. It is dropping this month. And I know they're gonna drop it week to week, like the bullshit that they be trying to keep doing every time. I just wish they give us the whole thing, drop the whole thing. I hope they change it up for season 4, drop the whole thing all at once, but we know they not. We know they not. Oh, I hate that they not. But moving into our final story today. And I held this one. We are talking about the latest Star Wars series. And it is called Star Wars Acolytes. And this show, first off, just setting it up, this show is set 100 years before the Star Wars prequel, The Phantom Menace. This takes place 100 years before that, something similar to like House of the Dragon. It premiered this week, 2 episodes, and I watched the 2 episodes. And I also checked on the reviews that this had. And the reviews I was seeing was it was mediocre. It was at a 6. We had a few people that were praising it. Some people were claiming that it was all over the place. We had other folks that saying that they were trying to be too woke when it came to the show. Some people were also claiming that it lacked substance and that the story was mid and that it was okay. I've watched. I've done my assessment. I have taken in the opinions of others. And I have to say one thing about this show. If that is how you felt about this series, I want you to sharpen some pencils and go fall on them. Because I don't understand what the fuck is wrong with viewers today. I don't get what's wrong with you Star Wars fans. I don't get what's wrong with a lot of the people who are in our community of, and we're going to call them the straight out of a comic book community, blur community, nerd community, geek community, whatever you want to call it. I do not understand your fucking logic when it comes to movies and it comes to television shows. This show is fucking amazing. This show started out so dope. I have no idea how the fuck you would consider this to be a basic plot. How? Where is the basicness in this? It is literally telling you about Jedi assassins who are trying to kill off the assassins. The assassins are trying to kill off the Jedi and are actually doing it. And I don't mean just by like the lightsabers and guns. Like, yo, no, these people are using tactics in the folks that they are trying to take out. When I tell you, a lot of people were kind of feeling the type of way because it's not tying into the original story. I think it's amazing that it's not tying into the original movies. I don't give a fuck about Darth Vader no more. I don't care about Luke Skywalker no more. That story is done. Give me something else. And that is what this place has done. That is what this show has done. They have given us so many new elements, and I have to say it, and I know people are going to try to come get me that are Star Wars fans, but you can lick the lower bottom of my left testicle, because this made Jedis cool again. This made Jedis dope again. It made it dope to want to find out about Jedis, to see the flaws in them, to see the flaws in even the Siths being used. This show, and only 2 episodes in, has me locked down. And the one thing I'm finna bring up, and I know people are gonna try to come at me for this, and I don't care. I am so sick of y'all trying to use this whole woke thing when you have a female lead as the character. Now, don't get me wrong. I know some series and some movies have dropped the ball when it comes to having a female lead as you know, for a movie or a TV show. We've seen where they've done a little too much. They've made it to where it's somewhat unrealistic. Like, I believe, like, in some of the shows, a few episodes that we had where we talk about Arrow, CT is very adamant about that when he talks about Green Arrow's daughter and how it was just a little too unrealistic. This is not the case. This is definitely not the case, and I am very much sick of the women bashing when it comes to them starring as lead roles within comic book lore, within basically nonfiction or fiction. I always get them confused. Or any of these betrayals. I think Captain Marvel was a great movie. I wish it would have been longer and gave more details, because it was a great setup to it. But the fact that it was women, you wanted to sit here and bash the shit. Just like y'all trying to do with Star Wars Acolytes, when they in 2 episodes would get so many people locked into the Star Wars franchise that would make you want to go see the originals. This makes you want to go learn a little bit more about, okay, so what is this lore? What is this franchise? I am so sick of people getting upset when you let women be the lead of something. Now, don't get me wrong. That Madam Web shit, that is definitely a prime example as to why you shouldn't do that. Don't do that shit no more. Don't do Madam Web no more. But this is a great example as to why people should stop doing that and give this stuff a chance. This show is so good from the past 2 episodes. There's nothing basic about this story. And my whole thing is, it's like, what do y'all want as far as when it comes to storytelling? But I don't get it. Like, why does it have to be such this intricate plot of, oh, it has to be this. We have to have 93 twists in here. We have to have it where, oh, this happens, where this shows, and then now it has to move into this, and it has to leave us hanging, and it has to have 9,800 breadcrumbs that we have to look and figure out for it to be such a complex story now that I can't help but watch it over and over again. Man, fuck you. Fuck anybody that think this story is basic. This story is dope as shit. And if anything, a lot of these Star Wars storylines been basic. You don't even know what the fuck going on in Star Wars, except that it's a war. There's a war going on. And we as people who not even soldiers have to stop it. Like, what are y'all talking about? You had a regular princess breathe in space. I don't want to hear shit from y'all about trying to talk about somebody when it comes to the Star Wars shit. But this one right here, the one thing y'all don't like is this one is a bridge. This show is a bridge for Star Wars. This helps bring in new people for the Star Wars franchise. If you're a big fan of the books, this stuff really hits for you. Because they're doing a lot of stuff that's sticking to the lore of the Old Republic books. And it is hitting the mark. And it's only 2 episodes in. Now, I'm hoping they don't tank it and shit the bed. And, because, like, after episode, depending on how many episodes they got, if it's 8 or 9, Four and five be them key episodes where it's like, okay, it's either going 4 or 5 be the show that the episodes is going to either make the show or break the show. And I'm hoping that they have a breakout episode 5. But so far, I love the concept of what they're doing. From the twins, from the assassin's place, from even just, again, it not even being focused on the person that is a Jedi. Or, just a former Jedi. This show, I'm trying to, choose my words carefully because I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to spoil it and stuff like that. But because I want y'all to go check it out. I don't want to spoil it because I really want you to be able to go check this out, because this is one of those shows that you don't have to be a Star Wars fan to watch this and get enjoyment from it. Like, everyone knows what Star Wars is. Even if you don't watch it, you know what a lightsaber is. You've heard a Jedi before. Now you get to see it to where you don't have to know this person. You don't have to know that person. It's just like, oh, cool, I can watch it. And I love the lead character in this. I love it because she is probably one of the most realistic characters that we've seen when it comes to this stuff. The logic that she chooses to do, the morale that she has, the moral implications that she portrays within these first 2 episodes. Like, it shows so much depth to characters. And it was like, yo, this was the first time where I've seen characters. Oh, let me not say the first time. Let me not do that. I don't want to shit on Star Wars like that. But this is one of those shows where Star Wars has done a great job of us getting tied into these characters like that. I am so interested to see in what's going to happen to the lead character's former Jedi Master. I love the side characters from X-23 to I forget the dude's name at the moment, but I know it starts with an L. They're the way their dynamic is and how they act. They've got me looped into them because I want to see what happens to them, how this is going to alter and change them with now Jedis being under attack. Even the somewhat, scenes we've seen with the Sith. It sets up such a great story. And I can't wait to see what this is all leading to. And again, I just hope it doesn't poop the bed at the end. But so far, this has done a great job of bridging the gap. And I'm in. This is one of those. I don't even like that it's releasing on Tuesdays at 6:00 like we watching television again. But please believe I'm going to be keeping up with this show, and we will be talking about this show frequently. But to anybody that has hated on this, I'm so tired of these people with these reviews that's not being truthful to the stuff, that's being just over critical. And it'd be a lot of people that don't make movies, that ain't never shot a movie in their life, ain't never worked on a movie set, just out here just giving a raw, wrong opinion. Make movies great again. Make movie reviews great again, man. Go in with a watchful eye. Go in with optimism. Go in with not ready to shit on it because it doesn't have this person in it. Man, go in with an open mind when you go watch movies. That was the thing about movies. Let the movie bring you in. Let the TV series bring you in. Stop trying to be so concerned about, the accuracy is off. That would never happen in here. Yo, can they tell the story? Can we tell the story? If not, go read the comic book then. Stay at the comic book. Let these people tell stories. We gonna have our good ones. We definitely gonna have our bad ones like Madam Web. But that is the beauty of making television, of making TV shows. Is taking something and giving us a dope visual for something that we've either known or we've never seen. Like, geez, can't we get back to the optimism? Can we get back to the glimmer? Can we get back to thinking on a positive level, walking into the theater rather than thinking that it's gonna crap the bed? Like, let the movie do that for you, not you already prejudging it before you come out and then having the nerve to go tell your audience this, and especially for your audience, because they trust your opinion. Just like the people that's in my community and my chat right now that's gonna resubscribe to Disney Plus just so they can check this out. Like some people hold your opinion to a high value, and it can really affect what happens to a series, what happens to a movie, because you talk down on it. Now this person doesn't want to see it, and then come to find out they missed out on a great movie and a great movie theater experience outside of just TV shows, a great movie theater experience because you said it was bad, because you said it lacked this when it really didn't. When it really had everything that we needed, that we wanted to see, and you wanted to go in again. So I just say, man, to movie reviewers, even the non-movie reviewers, go into a TV show, go into a movie with open eyes, with an optimism of that I'm going to be taken on a ride. If you watch movies in AMC theaters and you don't do that, then Nicole Kidman failed in her commercial. And we don't want Nicole Kidman to fail in her commercial and what she said on the AMC commercial. And why we come to the movie theaters, that's why the movie theaters doing so bad. The lure of the theater is gone. The magic of the movie theater is gone, thanks to BS reviews and people with just such high-ass opinions of movies and television that you think you know some shit and you ain't even been on one. You basic bitches. So sick of people just shitting on somebody else's work and not giving it a chance and just getting mad and then want to go talk some shit. Now, if you talk shit about Madam Web, you're 100% accurate, and that's not talking shit. And to Granddaddy's Perp over there in Twitch, you are absolutely right. Black Adam was actually a decent movie, and that would have been good in theaters. It would have done really good. I enjoyed Black Adam, and I really wish that DC wasn't in such a flux when that came out, because there were so many opportunities that could have been given to make it even better, including DC characters. And I know they tried to shit on them for like talking about like, oh, well, The Rock didn't want this to happen, The Rock didn't want that to happen. Like, no, all of this stuff was in flux, man. Just DC was in a bad part, and a lot of balls got dropped. And so you can't fully just point that at one person. But Black Adam was a solid film. I've watched it, I think, 3 more times since it came out on streaming. It's a solid film. It's not nothing where it's like, it ain't Madam Web, where I'd be like, turn this shit, put on This Is Us. I'd rather sit here and cry at that than cry at the travesty that's Madam Web. But yeah, man, just lower this judgmental high stuff that y'all have when it comes to reviewing movies, please. That's all I'm asking. And TV shows. And you're right, Granddad Perp, it left a lot of room for a sequel. And I wouldn't mind seeing Black Adam return, The Rock return as Black Adam. But if you have not seen Star Wars Acolytes, go watch it. It is good. I love that the different style and form it took on. That's what I like about it. There's more fighting in it, like the fight scenes. And the fight scenes aren't just lasers. It's not just lightsabers and gunfights. Like, these people are throwing hands in Star Wars. Like, I've never seen it to that caliber before on a series or even the movies. Like, yo, these people are getting down. Like, yo, like, even the Jedi, when I'm talking about, like, yo, like, fighting. It is such a good series, and I feel like I want this to be a success so that these companies, Lucasfilms, Disney Plus, and even folks who are fans of the Star Wars franchise feel a lot more open to telling stories that are astrayed from the original concept of the ones that we've seen. Like, give me something new. Give me people I've never seen. Give me people I barely know about that I gotta go research. Or give me someone that we haven't known that's put into the Star Wars lore. I still want to see an Ewoks movie. I want one of the Ewoks to be able to talk, that's a smuggler, and that be getting into the shits. Cause I fucks with the Ewoks. That's my boy. Them my homies right there. Them is my homies. I feel like all the Ewoks got the best weed. I could be wrong, but that was the vibe that I got off. That they be out here on their planet with a whole bunch of good weed. But I would love to see like something based off the Ewoks. I'd take an animated series before I take a live action series though. Cause like as Shawnee869 is saying over there on Twitch, I love the Ewoks cartoon. I still got a VHS of the Ewoks cartoon. I think it's like 3 episodes. But I would love to see like an animated version of something like centered around the Ewoks. Like I said, we don't have to do live action. I get that. But I would love to see an animated Ewoks cartoon. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel for, of course, Arcade Tokens and Twitch. And now we have the Straight Out of a Comic Book YouTube page. So make sure that you go over there, start subscribing to the channel, because in August, we're going to now have the episodes move on to that page itself. So the full episodes will only be on the Straight Out of a Comic Book YouTube channel. We'll have like maybe a 5-minute preview on my channel as well as Arcade Tokens. We will continue to go live on these, of course, but we will start to move more to it being exclusively live on the Straight Out of a Comic Book pages, as well as follow the Straight Out of a Comic Book YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. We have it all across the board. Everything is Straight Out of a Comic Book except for Twitter/X. It is SOACB for the Twitter handle. But we are now everywhere. The website is coming as well, and we will be doing merch. So yeah. Make sure you follow. Thank you for checking out the show, and I'll catch you next time.
Yeah.